All right, let's get some people in here. Oh my gosh, we gotta talk about Raw tonight. My goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm just pulling up my notes and we'll get straight into the review. Yo, what up, Real Say? Oh, we'll get into Raw, bro. All right, but the ending of Raw was crazy. It was one of the best Raw endings we've seen in a long time. I gotta be honest, man. Tonight's ending of Raw was legit. Man. Oh, but a lot happened tonight on Monday Night Raw. And hold up. Okay. All right. Let's get this show started. Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Fitzbug TV here, aka G133, and I'm back with another video on the channel for y'all today. And today I'm here with your Monday Night Raw review and results for February 25th, 2018. And this was one of the more wild Monday Night Raws we've seen in a while. Hold on, I'm just trying to fix my camera. All right, this was one of the more wild Monday Night Raws we've seen in a while. All right, I'm not gonna necessarily just sit here and say it was good. All right, but it was definitely unexpected. A lot of stuff happened on this show, some good, some bad, and we're gonna talk about all of it here tonight. We're finally getting a little bit of build towards Fastlane and WrestleMania. We're starting to see WWE put slowly together some of the bits and pieces. It looks like storylines and matches are finally being set up as we enter into the later months of WrestleMania. We had Roman Reigns come back tonight. We had Batista returning, which is probably maybe the biggest thing of the show. We have the Shield reuniting. Yes, the Shield did reunite tonight. A lot happened, and we're going to talk about that, all of that here on tonight's show. But before we get into anything, if you guys are new to the channel, I want you guys to like, comment, subscribe on this video, enable notifications by clicking the bell right next to my name, Fitzbug TV, so you guys are notified every time I post another video, because I'm going to be posting a lot of wrestling videos, especially now that we're getting the gear into WrestleMania season. And oh my God, I don't know where I should start. Honestly, I don't know if I should start with the Shield. I don't know if I should start with Roman Reigns. I don't know if I should start with Batista. All right. We'll start with Batista. All right. Let's start with Batista. So basically, we're starting with the main event. So what happened in the main event tonight? Well, basically, they've been advertising this for about 2 weeks now. They've been advertising this, this big Ric Flair birthday party. And most of us thought this was going to be a setup for, Becky Lynch and, for Becky Lynch to get involved and interfere just to get at Charlotte and or Ronda Rousey. Becky Lynch was on, which is another big thing we have to talk about. When was the last time we had so much to talk about coming out of Raw? I'm not going to necessarily say it was a good show, but it was a decent show for what it was. And I'll give WWE credit. Raw was decent, but they've been advertising this whole Ric Flair birthday party, and we all thought it was going to be, basically a setup for Becky Lynch to get at Rousey and Charlotte, but it was completely different. Honestly, we saw a bunch of legends come out. So basically, at the end of the show, we see Triple H and Stephanie come out, and they start talking about how all these big things going on in WWE, and how it's an exciting time to be a fan. And then you have all of the roster, all the Raw superstars are on the stage, and then they start bringing out legends. They bring out Sting, which was great to see. Sting was absolutely fabulous. They brought out Shawn Michaels. I'm forgetting. They brought out a couple other superstars, and I'm waiting for Bleacher Report to pull out the rest of the notes. Let me check really quick. Who else did they bring out? Yeah, Kurt Angle. Oh yeah, they had the what's it? Ricky the Steamboat. I'm forgetting names right now. There's so much going through my brain, so forgive me. But a lot of superstars came out, and there was rumors saying that The Rock was gonna appear. And I actually thought he was, because his mom was in the crowd tonight. All right, and part of that basically was because of the whole Roman Reigns announcement, which we'll get to a little bit later. But other than that, there was a lot of superstars and legends. And remember, over the weekend, they did a special Ric Flair birthday party where a bunch of WWE legends and athletes everywhere went, like Charles Barkley, Todd Gurley, Chris Jericho. There was a huge Ric Flair birthday party, and I thought they were going to redo that tonight. Well, Ric Flair never made it to the ring. All right. After all these superstars and legends came out, everyone's wondering, where's Ric Flair? And I was looking at the clock, because we know WWE for the last couple of months, they've been ending their shows right at 11 o'clock. And it was like 11:58. I was like, okay, Ric Flair's, did something happen? Like, what's going on? And then all we see is the camera cuts backstage, and then the camera's on Ric Flair's dressing room, and then the door opens. All you see is Batista. Yes, the animal Batista comes back, and he's dragging Ric Flair by his suit coat, just dragging him through the floor, through the arena. All right, and then all you see is Triple H run out of the ring, run like a cheetah, run backstage. All the Raw superstars are shocked. The fans are shocked. Nobody knows what is going on. And all you see is Batista backstage. He takes off his shades, and he's like, "Do I have your attention now, Hunter?" And he's like screaming like, "Huh? Do I have your attention now?" Absolutely great. I loved it. Heel Batista, man. Batista never really worked as a babyface, but he's always been way better as a heel, in my opinion. And there was a lot of rumors in the last couple of weeks that Batista was going to sign with AEW. He was in talks with them. Batista's been quoted on for a couple of years now, saying he wants to go on at least one more major WWE run before he retires. We know Batista is a big movie star, especially in terms when it comes to some of the Marvel cinematic movies. He's getting ready to go on promotion tour for Avengers Endgame, which comes out at the end of April, a couple weeks after Mania. And he's starting to get ready to start filming on Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He's a pretty big movie star now. All these other things. And there's a lot of factors that go into this. We all know, if you guys remember, back at SmackDown 1000 last year, we had that great segment with all of the Evolution members, Batista, Orton, Triple H, and Ric Flair, and they dropped hints. They dropped hints of a potential Batista Triple H feud. And honestly, I thought that it was gonna, if we knew it was gonna eventually happen, but we just didn't know when, because of Batista's movie schedule and all this other stuff. We don't know if he's gonna be available for Mania. And I honestly thought it would be for Batista versus Triple H, but Batista would be the face and Triple H would be the heel. It would just make sense, because Triple H is almost always a heel these days. But nah, they decided to do it completely different. We're getting Batista versus Triple H at Mania. It's not confirmed, but we know this is where this is all leading, to Batista versus Triple H at Mania. It looks like Triple H will be the babyface and Batista will be the heel. All right, it was crazy seeing Ric Flair getting dragged through the arena by his suit coat, man. Like it gave me. I was like, whoa, that's a 70-year-old man that's being dragged through an arena. Like, let's be careful. I know Ric Flair. I know he could take the punishment. He's the nature boy for a reason. But I was a little scared myself. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm absolutely loving where this is going. Yes, I don't agree with WWE bringing back part-timers, because that just takes away from other full-time superstars that are currently on the main roster. All right, that's another match. Because we already have Brock Lesnar, in the Universal Championship match. We already have Shane McMahon. We don't know but we know Shane McMahon will probably have some kind of match at Mania. You know what I mean? And who else they could bring? Who else we may see? With John Cena, as much as I love Cena, he's a part-timer these days. Kurt Angle might get it. You never know. All right. Triple H versus Batista. As much as I loved this, I love where they're going with this, and I can't wait. All right, and if I go to Mania, I'll be very excited to see this live. But still, it still takes away from a spot that should be given to full-time talent. All right, at the end of the day. But part of me kind of wishes they could have saved this down the line for maybe something like SummerSlam. But I know where this is going, because this is not only smart for WWE, because it's gonna get more eyes, because Batista is a pretty big name, not only in WWE but now in pop culture. But it helps Batista and his movie career, because remember, for all my movie fans out there, Avengers 4, which is maybe arguably the biggest movie that's gonna be releasing all year. All right, one of the biggest, anticipated movies of all time. It comes out April 27th. That's about 3 short weeks after WrestleMania. If Batista's having a big name or a big match at Mania, all right, that's gonna, he's gonna be able to use the platform of WWE not only to promote himself, but to promote the Avengers movie, which he'll be appearing in. So it's a win-win for both parties. Batista has been saying that he wants to wrestle. All right, I love Batista. He's one of. If I did a video with my friend Moose a long time back. He's one of my favorite top 10 superstars of all time. Love the animal, man. I can't wait to see. Hopefully I don't know how this is gonna work, because I don't know Batista's contract situation. I don't know if he's going to be appearing every week. If he's going to appear, I don't even know if he's going to appear next week, because we're all going to want answers. All right, this is a huge cliffhanger. And I don't, unless Batista, plans to show up on SmackDown tomorrow night. We don't know. But I'm very excited for it. As much as I hate, part-timers taken away from the full-time roster, but still, I can't lie. I'm actually excited for this. I feel like part of the reason why we're even getting this, remember, Undertaker's not going to be on Mania this year. Right now, the reports have said WWE has no plans for Undertaker at Mania. And I believe Undertaker's contract expired like last week. Unless something happens, you never know. Undertaker could make an appearance. And to be honest, would it really be WrestleMania without The Undertaker? Still absolutely crazy. Absolute crazy start to Raw. I mean, a crazy way to end Raw, and I loved it. Loved every bit of it. All right, but that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing that happened on Raw tonight. What we had a couple other things. Yes, Roman Reigns. Let's get into that real quick. Let's get into the Roman Reigns situation. So Roman, it was advertised all week that Roman Reigns was going to be appearing, to give an update on his whole cancer situation, his fight with leukemia, and all this other stuff. And it was made a big deal. There was a lot of reports. I didn't report on this, but there was a lot of people in the community talking about potentially that that Roman Reigns, this could be a work, and I didn't want to say anything about it. I wanted to wait on Raw till we got all the facts. There's people after all the events that happened tonight. There's people that believe it's a work. We don't know at the end of the day. All right, I don't really think it's a work. All right, especially with the way you had Roman Reigns' mom in the crowd. Vince is crazy, but I don't think he's that crazy. All right, I don't think he's that crazy to have Roman Reigns fake leukemia for an angle on Monday Night Raw. I'm sorry. All right. But still. So, I liked how WWE did all of this. I loved I'm talking about the segment when Roman Reigns came out. They had Roman Reigns come out. He did his normal 3-4 minute entrance, which is one of the things I can't stand about his TV character. His entrance is oh god, my mic fell. But his entrance is super long for absolutely no reason. All right, makes no sense in my eyes. But hold up. Sorry. But basically Roman made his entrance, and the crowd was hot. They were chanting "Welcome back," all this other stuff. And the first part of Roman's promo, he talked about basically all the love and support he's been given, how he wouldn't have made it this far without God, all this other stuff, and he kept thanking the fans for everything and how good it felt to be back. Then he was like, all right, y'all want an update, right? That's what was advertised, right? So the update is that he is in remission, which is absolutely spectacular. At the end of the day, yes, you guys know I dislike Roman Reigns' TV character. I can't stand it. I'm not a Roman Reigns fan at all. But at the end of the day, it's a TV character. We got to separate what we see on TV from reality. All right. Roman Reigns defeating leukemia. And I believe this would be his second time defeating leukemia. Because he said he had it, earlier in his life. Roman Reigns defeating leukemia, all right, is absolutely incredible. It's also going to bring many eyes to WWE because Roman Reigns is one of the company's top stars. At the end of the day, there was a lot of buzz. A lot of sports networks were covering it when he first got the news that he had leukemia, and now that he's in remission, that doesn't mean he's fully beat it, all right, but he's on the road to recovery. All right, and now Roman said he has been cleared. He can wrestle again, and he's back on Raw. Roman actually looked pretty good tonight. I don't know if it was because he wasn't wearing, his vest or anything, but Roman looks like he slimmed down a little bit. Looks like he may have lost like 10 to 15 pounds in the time he's been away. That could be because of the chemotherapy or something like that, but he looks better. All right, the guy definitely looks a little more in fit than he did before. I'm happy that he defeated leukemia. I'm happy that he gets to go back to what he's doing. All right. In terms of his TV character and what we saw tonight, especially with the Shield, I'll get to that because I'm mixed on it for multiple reasons, which we'll get to. But in terms of Roman Reigns and his leukemia, I'm happy that he defeats it. And I hope that he said in this promo, he wants to use the platform, the big platform, WWE being the biggest wrestling company, one of the biggest sports companies in the entire world. They use that to help others that are going through what he has gone through, so they have love and support. And it's great. All right, it's great. Roman should use WWE's platform to get his not his name, but to get his story out there so other people can feel hope and he can help others that are going through the same thing or even worse. So I'm happy for Roman Reigns when it comes to that. I loved how WWE didn't put any storylines into this. I loved how they basically just had Roman come out, do his promo, and then it was done. Afterwards, Roman Reigns left the ring, and as Seth Rollins' music started playing, Seth came out, gave his buddy a big hug, and I was happy to see it. All right, there's not much for Seth Rollins on TV right now. We gotta realize that because it's already penciled in stone. Rollins is going to be facing Lesnar at WrestleMania. There's not much for him to do till then. All right, Lesnar did defend the title at Elimination Chamber. He's not defending the title at Fastlane, and WrestleMania is still a month and a half away. So let's not be surprised there. All right, next up, what happened next? We had, Aleister Black and Ricochet versus the Revival. So they're continuing the NXT call-ups or the debut. I talked to a couple of my friends. I talked to my friend Moose. Most of us thought that the NXT call-ups were going to be for 1 week. It was going to be a showcase Monday and Tuesday for them on Raw and SmackDown, and then they would go back, especially for champions like Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, who are preparing for their title defenses, especially as we enter the Mania season, as we get into NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, which will be happening in about a month and a half from now. But they're continuing to showcase these superstars. I'm fine with Ricochet and Aleister Black because they're not champions right now. All right. And some people might say, oh, do you have a problem with Ricochet and Tommaso Ciampa? Like, come on, remember when Kevin Owens was NXT champion and he was on the main roster? That was different because we all knew that Kevin Owens was losing that championship to We all knew that. My bad. I don't know. We all knew that KO was losing that title to Finn Balor at the next takeover, and he was getting called up anyway. So it didn't really matter at that point. Right now, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, they're both champions. Even though most of us believe that Johnny Gargano will probably lose the NXT North American Championship to Velveteen Dream, and then he will go and face Tommaso Ciampa at NXT Takeover Brooklyn and finally take that title off of Tommaso Ciampa. Then Ciampa will get called up, and Gargano will be NXT champion. That's what we believe, but we don't know. All right, we don't know yet. Yeah, if Ricochet and Aleister Black are going to be on the main roster, fine. But I don't want to see them doing this each and every single week, with them both on Raw and SmackDown, because we saw Ricochet and Aleister Black go up against the Revival tonight, and they're slated to go up against Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura tomorrow night on SmackDown Live. I don't want to do that. I don't want to see that. All right, it's already bad enough what they had to go through last week, and I don't want to talk about last week because Louisiana, one of the worst crowds in the 25-year history of Monday Night Raw. Let's just leave it at that. All right, and yes, they got a much better reaction tonight, but still, if you're gonna have them called up, you gotta decide what brand they're gonna be on. The Superstar Shakeup is not until the night or the week after WrestleMania. That's still about 6-7 weeks away. So, hey, let's calm down a little bit. And either you keep Tommaso Ciampa, not Tommaso, either you keep Black and Ricochet on NXT television till after Mania, then officially bring them up, or you decide on what brand you're going to put them on now, because I don't want to see them flip-flopping each and every week, because it takes away from the special attraction that they are. All right, Aleister Black and Ricochet, two of the best performers in the entire company. All right, top of the crop in NXT. Like, let's be serious here. Let's not waste their special, even though WWE has already kind of done that after what they did last week. Like, come on. Either you're going to decide to keep them on the main roster now, or you bring them up after Mania. No, we're not doing this. Come on. You're going to make them look just like any other member of the roster by WrestleMania. And come on, we don't want that. Well, you want to see Aleister Black and Ricochet in a meaningless Andre the Giant Battle Royal at WrestleMania? No, I'd rather them not be on the show at all and, doing something absolutely amazing in the last NXT TakeOver at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4. That's what they should do. Not everything else is stupid. All right? Anyway, moving on. And Black and Ricochet beat. Oh, yeah, one more thing before we move on. All right, the Revival, the new Raw Tag Team Champions, they have lost. Last week they lost to Gargano and Ciampa. All right, and this week they lost to Ricochet and Black. I know they're NXT call-ups and you want to showcase them. You want people to, show or see who they are. But there's other teams in WWE's tag team division. There's other teams on Raw and SmackDown you can put those NXT calls up against. Like, you have to feed the Revival, your newly crowned tag team champions. You want to feed them 2 weeks in a row just to make your NXT calls look nice? Like, what are we doing here? So, what's going to happen? Basically, Michael said it. Black and Ricochet, they beat the tag team champions. That should put them in line for a future tag team championship opportunity. DIY did that last week when they defeated the Revival, but they're already champions. I don't think they have time to worry about being tag team champions right now. But I can easily see WWE putting Black and Ricochet up against the Revival at Fastlane for the Raw Tag Team Championship. I'm not saying that would be a damn good match, based on what we saw tonight, but still, I feel like it's a little bit too early to be taking the tag team championships away from the Revival. They just won them, and they have no momentum behind them. Like, come on. It's more. This just shows me that, especially with the Revival winning those tag team championships were just to keep them from leaving to go sign with AEW. That was it. We don't want to. It's like WWE saying, we don't want to lose you. Don't go. Here, we'll give you a prize if you stay. That's all this is. And if the Revival keep losing, it's gonna make our points even more. You got the Revival finally as tag team champions. Now use them because they're one of the best teams in the entire world. All right, you got them to stay. Now use them. Let them elevate not only the tag team championships but tag team wrestling in general. Because God, how long has tag team wrestling been lacking on your show? Now you have legit tag team champions, legit tag team. A legit tag team is actually holding your tag team championships. Use that tag team and make your division better. That's what I gotta say on that. Moving on. We had all right. Next up we had Elias. All right, Elias coming out for his classic. I'm gonna play a song. Let me crap on the town that I'm in, and then what is it? I'm gonna get interrupted. And basically, Dean Ambrose turned babyface tonight. Dean Ambrose, remember when he turned heel? The same night that Roman Reigns had leukemia. Well, everything comes full circle. It's only been what? How long ago was that? That was, I believe, I want to say November. I want to say that was mid-November, I believe. That's when Roman Reigns. It was in November, October, somewhere around there. All right. It was like 3 or 4 months ago. That's when Roman Reigns announced he had leukemia. I think it was about 3 months ago. And Dean Ambrose turned heel. Now he's babyface. We all know WWE's already confirmed to themselves that Dean will be leaving the company after. He'll be leaving the company after WrestleMania. All right. And basically, you have about a month and a half now left with Dean Ambrose. What does WWE do? Well, they turn him babyface. I'm not surprised. Not surprised at all. Dean Ambrose came out tonight just like the old Dean Ambrose, cracking jokes, playing with the crowd. He was playing with Elias, saying, Elias, I want you to play me a song. And basically, let's see, can you play me Dirty Deeds? Which we all know Dirty Deeds is Dean Ambrose's finisher. Well, Elias says, yeah, I can play that song, but then he goes to hit Dean Ambrose with a guitar. Dean, counters it with the actual move, Dirty Deeds, and he walks out. Classic Dean Ambrose. I'm not gonna sit here and rant about it because this is only because Dean Ambrose is leaving. If you're gonna have him leave, yeah, the fans they love him, they appreciate him. All right, you gotta leave, turn him babyface. It's only for a month and a half. It's very temporary. He's gone. He's already out the door, right? So why not turn him face? If this was anybody else, I would probably crap over it. But the guy's leaving, so there's really no point. There's really no point. This is only gonna last for about 6 or 7 weeks, and then he's gonna move on and do whatever he has planned next with his life, unless somehow they decide to keep him. But then basically, I was thinking about this. All right, thinking about there was rumors already saying that Roman Reigns' match at Mania, could involve Dean Ambrose, or it could be him and Dean getting involved in the Universal title match, allowing for Seth Rollins to capture the Universal Championship and defeat Brock Lesnar. But now I was hearing rumors this weekend that they were going to do like a tag team match with Roman and Dean, or possibly Roman, Dean, and Strowman going up against McIntyre, Lashley, and Corbin. If you're going to do a tag team match, all right, if you're going to do a tag team match, I'm not against it. I'm not going to say I'm for it, really, because I don't feel like a Dean Roman tag team match against anybody really is WrestleMania worthy. All right, that's a match that you might just do on a random episode of Monday Night Raw or at a house show. Really, it's not WrestleMania worthy. All right, but the reason why I'm not gonna crap over too much is because Dean Ambrose is leaving. He's been one of your most reliable superstars over the last 7 years. Right, that he's been on the main roster. Other than the injury he had last year, the guy was almost always healthy. He was at every show. He was over with the crowd. he's probably gonna be, if he doesn't return, he'll probably be a Hall of Famer sometime in the next decade when he retires one day. He'll be a Hall of Famer probably for WWE for all that he did in the 7 years he's been with the company. And I don't hate Dean Ambrose at all, man. So I'm not gonna get mad over it. I will get mad about the Shield reforming, which we'll get to in just a little bit. All right, next up, and this was big. This was also probably the next big thing that happened. We had Ronda Rousey and Natalya versus the Riot Squad. I didn't care for the match. No one cares. I don't give a damn about anything that involves the Riot Squad at this point. All right, let's just leave it at that. But what happens is at the end of this match, Ronda Rousey is about to put Ruby Riott in the armbar. But what we see is Becky Lynch comes through the crowd trying to get to Ronda Rousey. This is, I believe, the third time she's done this. Second or third time she's done this. All right. And at this point, it's getting annoying. It's honestly getting annoying, in my honest opinion. I love Ronda Rousey. I love Becky Lynch. Everyone knows Sasha Banks is my favorite WWE superstar. It's no, I have to say that every pod. But I love both Rousey and Becky Lynch. I don't give a damn about Charlotte, but still, I love both women, but I'm getting really annoyed with this. All right. Becky Lynch is suspended. Yes, they're making all these comparisons about Becky Lynch being Stone Cold Steve Austin, who, in my opinion, is the greatest WWE superstar of all time. But they're making all these comparisons to Stone Cold Steve Austin. And, they're having Becky do the same lame old skit every single week. When Stone Cold Steve Austin was in Attitude Era, he found creative and unique ways each and every week to stick in the Vince McMahon. No matter if it was using a fake gun, coming through with a beer truck, getting arrested and coming back. Tagging Vince McMahon in his hospital room. The list goes on and on and on. It's just rinse and repeat at this point with Becky Lynch. It's just rinse and repeat. Let's have her come through the stands. Use her cane to attack people. It's starting to get ridiculous. So Becky Lynch comes out, and a couple of security guards, like 2 or 3, try to block her off. But then Ronda Rousey sees this, and she tries to attack, Becky. And it was a sloppily done because, they had to act like they were holding Ronda Rousey back. And they had to act like Becky Lynch was being held back when they really weren't. All right, they really were. You could see Rousey was struggling because Rousey knew she could, knock out all those fake security guards at any time. But she had to act like they were actually holding her back when they really weren't. All right. But Becky starts attacking officials with her cane. All right. Attacking the security guards with her cane. Rousey is, throwing punches and jabs at the other officials trying to stop her. And then eventually what happens is, Becky, then she gets overwhelmed. There's more security guards and they actually lock her up. Then they're taking Becky away. And Becky's saying, watch how you hold those hands. Watch how you hold these hands. All right. I'm the future women's champion. I'm going to be holding that title soon. So you got to watch how you hold these hands. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad, send off. I just hate that WWE's using this rinse and repeat method. All right. And after that, you would think that the segment was over. It wasn't. And I forgot to mention that Becky actually attacked Natalya. A babyface attacked another babyface. Becky attacked Natalya tonight, which was the reason why Ronda got pissed and went after Becky in the first place. And hold on, let me see if I got the audio. Because afterwards, we came back from commercial break. The officials or the medical staff are taking Natalya back to the locker room. And Rousey gets mad that she's in the middle of the ring. And she says this. Let me see if the clip loads. So Rousey goes for the mic.
It's time to end this. Vince, get out here. Vince McMahon, get out here.
So Ronda's pissed. And who they send off?
I'm cutting straight to the case. Just reinstate Becky. Reinstate Becky for WrestleMania. I am at my wit's end. Just do it. Ronda, I understand you're upset. Everybody here saw what just happened, but reinstate Reinstating Becky Lynch, I think, is the least of her problems right now. I just saw her getting loaded into the back of a police car. Becky Lynch has been arrested. So you can take care of that too. Just you and your family, drop the charges, reinstate Becky for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Go tell your daddy, just do it. Rhonda, it's just not that easy. And I don't know how many times we have to go through this. Your opponent at WrestleMania is Charlotte Flair. Either. But Becky Lynch is a victim of her own actions, her own emotions. She's now, instead of being... Do what's best for business, right? This is what's best for business. It's what I want. It's what they want. It's what the ginger douche in cuffs wants. I mean, come on, Steph. The first ever women's main event.
She called Becky a ginger douche in cuffs.
Me, Becky, Charlotte. I mean, think about what this means to you, to your legacy. Steph, think about what this means to your 3 daughters. I'm sorry, Rhonda, but the answer is... And that you reinstate Becky for the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania now! You demand?
And then Stephanie gets pissed.
Who do you think you're talking to? I'm your boss. You work for me. You know, my father said it right. You and Becky, you're pretty much cut from the same cloth. You both have a bad attitude, and nobody, not Becky Lynch, not Rowdy Ronda Rousey, nobody is bigger than the WWE. You don't control me. I'm not like everyone else who you give just enough that they have to come back.
This was good.
I bled enough. I've bled enough to be set for life. I am not your worker. I am Ronda Rousey, and I am the Raw Women's Champion. And I will carry this title as long as that represents the best. But now I just defended against the chosen. This just means nothing. This is just a belt. You made this into a gaudy accessory that isn't even my style. I cannot stand here and endorse you violating this title. This means too much, Steph. Vince says that he's a man, and he makes all the tough decisions. Steph, it's time for him to make the right decision.
And she's getting applause from the crowd as she walks out of the arena. All right. So basically, Ronda lays the championship down in the middle of the ring. You know, it's confusing because it's not like she's giving up the championship, even though that's kind of what she did. But it's like she refuses to hold the belt until she gets what she wants, which is she wants Becky at Mania. And then she's actually willing to push the match to a triple threat. All right, the way this storyline goes, like the way they're trying to form it into a triple threat match, it's interesting, but you know, it's just too rinse and repeat. All right, it's just like, why do we have to do the same thing each and every week? Why? Just for ratings? Like we have to have Becky, you know, show up, come into the crowd, you know, buy a ticket, all this. Like, come on. There's other unique, creative ways. I thought if Becky was gonna show up, you know, I said this on the Elimination Chamber review, Becky Lynch should not be showing up on WWE television, you know, violating her suspension until Ric Flair's birthday party. Well, WWE, of course, we talked about it with Batista. They clearly had different plans coming, you know, when it comes to that situation. But, you know, still, I'm getting tired of seeing Becky do the same thing each and every week. It's becoming too rinse and repeat. Like, is Becky going to do the same thing on SmackDown Live tomorrow? We could WWE might do that easily. Like, who knows what's going to happen? And I can't stand it. I can't stand it. I like what they're doing, you know, the way they're setting this all up. But at the end of the day, WWE could do a much better job when it comes to, you know, making Becky's suspension, so-called suspended, better, if that makes sense to you guys. But let me guys know, what do you guys think of the whole Becky situation? You know, it's like I like where it's going. I just wish they could find more creative ways to, you know, build the storyline. Like, we don't need Becky doing the same thing each and every week. Like, come on. And like, can Becky actually go 1 week without, you know, showing up on WWE television if she's suspension? I mean, if she's suspended, like, come on, what are we doing here? But moving on, we had Kurt Angle versus Jinder Mahal. Don't care. Don't care about this at all. All I know is Kurt Angle won with the ankle lock. There was no point in this at all. We also had a moment of bliss with Finn Balor. All right, and this was kind of, you know, weird in a way, or not weird, but it was funny. So Alexa Bliss welcomed Intercontinental Champion Finn Balor to the moment of bliss, and basically she started talking about his abs. Like, I don't know. I guess a theme that they're doing is Alexa Bliss flirts with her gas station. We've seen her do this with EC3. You know, I think she did with another superstar. Now she's doing it with Finn Balor. But she's like, show me your abs. If you and she, you know, she talked about how the title is blocking her, you know, Finn Balor's abs. If Finn takes off the title and shows Alexa her abs, she'll show him. And before she finishes her session, Leah Rush came out. Like, what, Alexa Bliss? Are you gonna show Finn Balor the same thing that won you 5 women's championships? But are you gonna show, you know, Finn Balor your beautiful body, the same body that you probably showed Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn backstage? Like, come on, let's be serious. Anyway, okay. Joking aside, but Leo Rush comes out, and then Leo Rush he goes on repeating, "Oh, you don't deserve to be the Intercontinental Champion." Bobby Lashley does, and, you know, skipping all this garbage, this leads to an Intercontinental Championship match between Finn Balor and Leo Rush. Finn Balor wins with the coup de grace, and afterwards we see Leo Rush go backstage, and Bobby Lashley he's pissed because Bobby says he set Leo out there to get him an Intercontinental Championship rematch, because, you know, WWE doesn't do automatic rematches anymore. But instead he got a match for himself, and he still lost. And so Bobby's like, "Oh, can I trust you?" And he's like, "I don't have time to worry about this right now. I gotta get prepared for my no disqualification match, or his match against Braun Strowman." This was the next match on the card. I didn't watch this match at all. All right, I was, you know, doing something completely different. I don't even know who won, to be honest with you. So supposedly, I'm I'm trying to read the notes what happened. So before the match got started, Lashley attacked Braun before the bell could ring, and basically Strowman was able to stop Bobby Lashley's attack, which led to him running through both Lashley and Leo Rush and is standing tall on the stage, which led to the next segment. All right, don't care. I've ranted on Braun Strowman enough for now. Next up, we had, this might be the last thing we talk about because we already talked about the whole Batista party, but we had the no disqualification match: Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre. All right, and real quick, I'm not announced tonight that Sasha Banks and Bayley will be defending the women's tag team titles for the first time against Nia Jax and Tamina. Don't care at all. And I love Sasha Banks. All right, love her. Love the Boston Hug connection. But, you know, I just don't give a damn. This match has no appeal to me. Yes, it's gonna build up the tag team championships because Sasha and Bayley, no one has them losing. I've already done videos on why they won't lose. All right, they're gonna be walking the WrestleMania as the champs. I don't know who they're gonna face, we'll deal with that after Fastlane. But this is just a bridge to get Sasha and Bayley to Mania, and we'll figure out who they're gonna face from there. But the last thing we're gonna talk about is the return of the Shield, man. Like, this pissed me off so bad. So we had the Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre no disqualification match. And basically, this was a pretty good match. Pretty good match. What happens is Dean Ambrose was picking up momentum near the end of the match, and then Elias attacked. He hit Dean in the back with a guitar on the outside of the ring. This was payback for earlier for Dean Ambrose giving him the dirty deeds in their segment from earlier in the night. And then McIntyre gets Dean in the ring, hits him with a Claymore kick that ends the match. Then we have the rest of this faction, this heel faction. We have Corbin and Lashley come to the ring, and they're all beating down Ambrose until Seth Rollins comes out with a chair and Roman Reigns make the save. Roman Reigns comes out, and right away, we go right back to all the other bullcrap that we hated with Roman Reigns. Or at least mine, in terms of his TV character. Roman Reigns comes out, he starts Superman punching everybody. Superman punches Elias. Superman punches to Lashley. Then he spears. He does the whole That's his whole gimmick. Spears. What's his name? I think it was Drew McIntyre, and that's how the segment ends. All right, and basically you have Rollins and Reigns at the top of the ramp, celebrating, and they're looking down at Dean Ambrose in the middle of the ring. This is teasing the Shield coming back together, which I can't stand. Can't stand. Like, how many times have we seen the Shield come back together? Like, what's done is done. Yes, the Shield are one of the greatest factions of all time. All right, I don't think they're a top 5 faction, but they're one of the, they're up there with the other great factions of all time. And yes, they've had dominance, but their time is over. I said before earlier tonight, I wouldn't be, mad if they did Dean versus Finn. I mean, not Dean versus Finn. Dean and Roman against, maybe like McIntyre and maybe Elias at Mania, something like that. But still, I can't stand it. Like, I don't know if this is gonna lead to the Shield reuniting and we see like a big tag team match. Like, this could definitely be leading to Roman, Braun, Rollins, and Ambrose going up against McIntyre, Lashley, Leo, and Corbin at Fastlane. I could definitely see WWE doing that, but I can't get behind it. I'm tired of it. I don't want to see the Shield at this point in time. Like, it makes everything, especially over in such a limited time. Such a limited time. I know Dean is leaving, but him and Rollins were just fighting over the IC championship, hating each other's gut. They were trying to kill each other just a little over a month ago. And all of a sudden they're getting back together like just like that. Are we supposed to forget everything that happened? Are we supposed to forget, the vicious, amazing attack Dean had on Rollins the night that Roman Reigns announced leukemia? Like, is it that simple for them to get back together? Like, what are we doing here, Sway? Like, come on. Let's use some logic here, WWE. Let's actually use some logic. But, it is what it is. WWE's going to do what they want at the end of the day. And other than that, that's the way Raw ended. We already talked about the whole Ric Flair situation. Hold on. I'm going to move my... I don't usually do this. I'm going to move this over just so I can keep my computer from dying before the end of the review. All right, and I hate that I have to do this, but that's basically what happened. That's what happened. That's how Raw ended. All right, we talked, and it was a crazy Monday Night Raw. We had the return of Batista, which was epic. Loved that. Roman Reigns comes back, announces that he's in remission. He is cancer free, which is absolutely amazing. I'm happy for him and his family. But we did have the Shield return, which kind of, cancels out everything good that happened on this show, which I couldn't stand. The Becky versus the Becky, the first part of the Becky segment wasn't that good, but the second part with Ronda, laying down the Raw Women's Championship, I love that. It shows another layer to Ronda's character. Love that. And other than that, Raw, it wasn't a bad show. It was an average show, which is actually pretty good for Monday Night Raw, because on most weeks it's pretty trash. So an average show, I'm not gonna say it was decent, but an average show for Monday Night Raw is a thumbs up for me, and I'll give them that. All right, but other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thank you guys for coming through. I'll be back tomorrow night with your SmackDown Live review. Remember, if you guys are new to the channel, slap a like on this video, comment, and subscribe. Enable notifications by clicking the bell right next to my name, Fitzpunk TV. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day, guys. Peace.